March 20th, I was diagnosed with endometrial cancer. I don't got time for no cancer.
Gotta get those good vibrations.
Welcome to the Go Live Your Life podcast. The reason why I wanted to start the podcast is to help people who are struggling with fibromyalgia or anything to do with chronic fatigue syndrome. Inflammation causes all these health issues, and I do struggle with IBS, GERD, and you name it. I have back and neck issues. But the reason why the fire got lit under my butt, I just do need to get this message out there because with fibromyalgia, I still snowboard, I mountain bike, and when it's snowboarding season, I'm there once or twice a week. In fact, we just got dumped on. I live in California, but we got dumped on with so much snow where I normally go and snowboard. And it was really a surprising thing because normally at this time of the season, it's just, snow is melting and it's the end of the season. And I'm normally not motivated to go just because the conditions aren't right. But oh my goodness, on Saturday, we had like the best conditions. I did want to start this podcast also because March 20th, I was diagnosed with endometrial cancer. I figured, okay, I may as well, have people come on this journey with me and hopefully it'll help others who are going through this. Now, when I got that diagnosis, it was kind of shocking to me just because I never would have thought cancer. I mean, I know I have all these issues, health issues, a number of them that I'm probably forgetting to mention, and I will mention them as time goes on, but just never really thought endometrial cancer. And at the same time, while I'm, getting the biopsy and getting things done, I'm seeing my rheumatologist, and my rheumatologist, he holds, I'm sure many of you can relate to this, but he holds my medication hostage until I go in and see him because he wants to get labs done and make sure everything's okay before he gives me medication. So at the same time, I'm seeing him, but I'm seeing also the gynecologist because I had a period since October. Well, it never went away. Like it just kept spotting and things like that. So I thought, okay, maybe this is just part of perimenopause. But what was unusual was that I was having cramps. And in my normal adult life, I never had cramps with my periods. And that was actually, the cramps was happening in the last couple of years whenever I would get my period. But I thought, oh, okay, it's just like me getting old, perimenopause, that whole thing. And just so you know, I am 50 years old. So yes, perimenopause is like a normal thing to go through. But however, the cramps started getting more intense. And normally those cramps would just stay in the pelvic area. And then I was getting stomach pains that were on the left side of like my belly button. And it would just be so intense. And I was getting them kind of like clockwork every evening, starting I think November was kind of where it was coming every single day. And it was just kind of relentless. And maybe there might be one day I might not have the pain and it's like amazing. So I kept trying to figure things out. But in the meantime, I'm, getting scheduled to go see the gynecologist. She gets and I'm talking to her about maybe going on hormone therapy because I can't deal with this like spotting every single day or bleeding every day. And every day was different. And so she said, okay, well, we need to do a few things first. And I was also due for my PAP at the same time. So we're getting that done. But she said, okay, well, let's get an ultrasound done. So we get the ultrasound done. I have a telemed appointment with her. She tells me that, okay, we need to go ahead and get a biopsy done on my uterus and on my cervix. Oh, because at the same time, the PAP came back abnormal with, I believe she said glandular cells. So, that was like a little concerning. And then for some apparent reason, we couldn't get the cervix done at the same time. So actually today is my appointment to get the cervix done. Anyhow, so we get a telemed appointment, and in that telemed appointment, she goes over the results of the biopsy, and it turns out that I have endometrial cancer, and specifically she said adenocarcinoma. Oh, she also told me that my uterine lining was 30 millimeters, and I guess apparently that's very thick, and I believe normal range is between 4 and 8 is what I kind of briefly read on Google. And the reason why I got the thick uterine lining was because of estrogen. So I was producing too much estrogen and not enough progesterone to I guess, balance it out. I'm not the type of person who feels sorry for myself, even with, I think because I've been through the whole fibromyalgia journey and trying to get myself better. And there was a 7-month period. The pain was relentless and it wouldn't let up. And the fibromyalgia symptoms wouldn't let up with the fatigue and feeling like you have a flu and, all that. So I think because I went through that and I put things in perspective in my life, I thought, okay, well, I can walk, talk. I can, use my hands, my feet. I can hear, I can see. So what the heck are you crying about? Well, pull your big girl panties up and suck it up. Like, what are you feeling sorry for yourself for? So I've kind of had that attitude, and I've kind of had the attitude of just feeling gratitude for everything in my life and things that are going well and not what's not going well, because if you get in that headspace, you just kind of go into a very dark place, and I just didn't want that. And of course, but with my faith as well, which but by the grace of God, so I'm a Christian, that also helped me get through a lot of challenging things and a lot of things in life in general. But that did help me get through like the whole fibromyalgia thing, and then moving on with my life, and then deciding, what, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And if I feel well, I'm going to do it, And so I took up like mountain biking and snowboarding and all that good stuff, paddleboarding and whatever kind of sports, but and I do enjoy it. So I do pay a big price for doing those type of things, because as you know, with fibromyalgia, if you do too much, you will get a flare up. I wanted to encourage people who get the, whatever health issues you're going through, just to kind of, hang in there, keep your head up. I probably in total cried maybe 20 seconds or 30 seconds over this whole cancer thing. I was trying to figure out how I was going to let my husband know, because he takes things very hard. And I was concerned about how I was going to break it down to him. And then I also cried when I told my kids and my dad, because I sat them down a few days after my diagnosis, and I sat them down and told them what was going on with me. But I was so busy because we had family coming in. And so I find out I get cancer, and then I find family coming in the following day, and we're like gathering with them and just having a ball and having a blast. With this cancer diagnosis, I was thinking, okay, was there something did I do something that caused this, And I came to a few conclusions, but I won't even talk about that right now. But you know what? Cancer just happens. It just happens to people. It is what it is. And it just happens. And so a lot of times it's environmental and whatever the reason is, I have cancer. But thank God, I feel absolutely fine, because I went snowboarding on Saturday, and I've just been kind of still on the go. And I do realize that there is a lesson in this, and I'll talk about that later, about maybe why I have to go through this and why this is happening. But I just want to encourage you to just stay positive and think positive. And if you feel fine, just keep it moving, keep it moving. I don't think that it does anyone any good to just, lay down in bed and cry all day. And if you have to do that to let that be your outlet, so be it. Not saying there's a right or wrong way to deal with cancer, but the way I am dealing with this, just remaining positive and thinking that, God has a plan, and this apparently is part of his plan. So, and every time I go through some kind of adversity, I think about, what is it that God is trying to teach me? What is it that I'm supposed to learn? What is the life lesson here? Wednesday, I see the oncologist. And then sometime in the middle of the month, I see the urologist for the bladder lesion. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned, but anyway, they found a lesion because my rheumatologist ordered a CT scan. I told him that I had stomach issues, and I didn't know if it was IBS or GERD or anything like that. And so he ordered a CT scan, and that's how they discovered the lesion on my bladder. So that discovery was before I got my cancer diagnosis. So anyway, this is all happening like at the same time. And I'm sure like the people at City of Hope are going to kind of coordinate and figure all that stuff out. I'm not like depressed or anything like that. I don't get that type of way anymore about things because I've been through so much in my life that, I know that whatever I'm going through feeling is temporary. Hang in there. If you got this diagnosis, hang in there. Just think positively and think that you are going to be well. And I'm doing the same thing. I mean, obviously, there's no absolutes and guarantees in life. This is the way I'm going to, manage this and think about it. And I hope that will help you and inspire you. I hope to kind of hop on here and do this video podcast thing and hope to help people out. I don't have anything scripted as far as what I was going to talk about, but I've just figured I better just start and get on here and hopefully start serving people and helping people get through some tough times in life. And don't get me wrong. I mean, it is tough, but I try to keep a positive mental attitude and not try to fall apart. And I know people say, you should just let it all out. And maybe I will at some point. I'm not sure if this is just not how I manage or deal with things, even with my health. But maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see on this journey. I mean, it's just the diagnosis is new. It's only been 11, 12 days since the diagnosis. But in between that, I was just very busy and just having the time of my life with my family and, just appreciating everything. And I do generally feel like that anyway. But yeah, so I hope you come on this journey with me. My hope is that this podcast will inspire people to go out and live their life. Hence why I'm calling it the Go Lil, Go L-Y-L, Go Live Your Life podcast. Because no matter what, if you're capable, go live your life. Just go and live your life. I mean, don't let anything stop you from living it. And don't let anything, because a lot of times people just go into this dark place and stay depressed, and then, oh, my life is, over. And trust me, I've been there. I have thought that. I have been in that dark place where I'm like, oh my gosh, is this ever going to end? I mean, if you have a 7-month flare up where it doesn't let up, your mind goes to very dark places. And you just start thinking, is it always going to be like this? Am I always going to feel pain? Am I always, and you know what? That was about 13 years ago and some change. But, there's a whole history on this whole fibromyalgia thing in the 90s. When I was in my 20s, one doctor diagnosed me with it, sort of. But back then they didn't really think it was most doctors didn't think it was a real thing. And, so there's a lot to it. But in the meantime, I hope this helps someone and come with me on this journey. And in the meantime, I'll also try to help you and talk about the things that I've done to pull myself out of that 7-month flare up to where I started feeling better and started feeling more myself and started doing things. Yeah, I hope to do that for people. And just this cancer diagnosis kind of lit a fire under my butt to just go ahead and get this thing done, because there's no guarantees in life. And I want to help people feel better and take their life back and get control. Take some control. You can't control everything, but you can take some control over your life and some control over your health and some control over how you think about things. But a bitch don't got time for no cancer. I am too busy. I have too much going on. I have a lot of things I need to do and have to do. And yes, this cancer diagnosis is probably telling me to just slow down. But at the same time, a bitch don't got time for cancer. I got things to do. I got snowboarding to do. And the good thing is, because when it's snowboarding season, that's all I ever care about. Sadly, that's all I ever care about. It takes priority over doing some social things sometimes. Even with this cancer diagnosis, I still want to go snowboarding. And all I can think of is, well, thank goodness this cancer thing happened towards the end of snowboarding season for us, because I would have been really bummed out if I couldn't go snowboarding, the whole season. So you know what? I'm going to take care of this cancer. So we're going to hopefully discuss surgery on Wednesday when I see the oncologist, get this dang thing out, do whatever I have to do, and keep it moving, Rest, yes, but keep it moving at the same time. Because like I said, I ain't got time for no cancer. I got things to do, It just puts a damper in things, with my schedule and things like that. But you know what? Stick with me. I cannot give you a confirmation date and time that I will be posting things because life is kind of chaotic. I just hope this will help and inspire some people. And we'll go more into depth about the whole fibromyalgia thing. And then we'll just stay on this journey with the dang cancer thing. I'm not making light of it because cancer is a serious thing. And I know people are struggling and going through some things, but it's just the way I manage and deal with things. Okay, so please don't take any offense to that. But anyway, I hope you guys have a blessed week, a blessed life. But you guys take care. Have a good week.
Gotta get those good vibrations.